Well, Jumpstart 2022 is upon us, and you better get ready to feel bad for divorced dad Talrand, because his ex-wife has just entered the arena. I have a buddy, I'm going to call him T-Bone, that's not his real name, but we'll call him T-Bone for now, and he's a true bro. If you came at him with no shirt, he'd give you the shirt right off his back. Bro, if you had no hair, he'd shave his head and give you his own hair so you could rock a sweet high ponytail like Tong Po from Kickboxer. Anyway, I have a ton of old cards, and T-Bone lamented losing to a deck that I had used several $60 cards like Enlightened Tutor and stuff like that. Commander at that time seemed like it was pay to win. T-Bone didn't like it, and thusly a gentleman's argument ensued. I decided at that moment to build a $30 deck to kick everybody's butt with, thereby proving that Commander was the ultimate format that utilized a deck builder's skill and the ability to pilot a well-built deck with alacrity. That deck was Talrand. Basically, it was a bunch of janky instants with Talrand out there to weaponize the control archetype. You know, you say in response, cast negate, make a Drake, hold priority, cast brainstorm, make a Drake, blah blah blah. Eventually create a board state that was once dubbed the Drake Menace. Win the game, that's that. I have a Talrand deck, and you can check out that video if you want to be a super bro like T-Bone. And you know what else a super bro always does? They always hit the like button, okay? And they gently smooch the subscribe button to feed the algorithm a little tasty snack that makes them recommend more of my rants to your compatriots around the globe. Man, the minute I saw this card, I knew I had to brew it. Alandra Sky Dreamer, 2 blue for a legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard, it's a 2/4. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. Whenever you draw your 5th card each turn, Alandra Sky Dreamer and Drakes you control will each get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Okay, first of all, this is a wizard and a merfolk. That can be relevant if you want to include any tribal protection and synergies. I always start at the creature type, and while we're here, remember she cares about making drakes and herself bigger, so utility drakes are good includes if you care about that as well. Another salient fact about our dear Alandra is that she cares about drawing cards each turn, so you want to be doing that at instant speed on your opponent's turn to make more Drake. And Alandra has her win condition stapled right on with her second ability. She weaponizes drawing cards, there's nothing better than that in Magic. Make a field full of even 4 to 5 flying drakes and go super tall with a wheel effect to take somebody right off the field. And listen up, you knuckleheads, you can have this critter popping off for $60 or so. Don't buy that stupid overpriced pre-con, get this for an extra $15 and you're swinging for the fences, buddy. Alright, let's take a look at some key cards first. We got Teferi's Ageless Insight, 2 blue for a legendary enchantment. If you would draw a card except the first one you draw on each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. So now a single card turns into 2 cards, and that's really good and synergizes with both of Alandra's abilities. By itself it does nothing though, so it's not some panacea fantastic card. I love how the art is just a hand thrusting into the world. Yeah, that's Ageless Insight, alright. Yeah, hey Jimbo, what should I use to represent Ageless Insight? Well, how about a man thinking or looking over a landscape, or like shaping it or something? Nah, I'm gonna go with hand. This art also features a hand. We got Loyal Drake, 2 and a blue for a creature Drake, it's a 2/2 with flying. Has Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, draw a card. That's your second card, dude, make a Drake. Plus, this is a Drake. Thematically, this is perfect. When Alandra and Talrand got divorced, Talrand thought the Drake family would still hang out with him. But when the Wizard World Championship came around, Mr. Drake didn't invite Talrand over to watch it on the big screen. Sorry man, my wife, Miss Drake, she's really good friends with Alandra, you know? I know man, but she's my wife, I gotta live with her, you understand, right? Min Wily Illusionist, 1 blue for a legendary creature, Gnome Wizard, it's a 1/3. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue illusion creature token with this creature gets +1/+0 for each other illusion you control. Whenever an illusion you control dies, you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to that creature's power from your hand onto the battlefield. Listen, you want to draw second cards, and that's the dang deck. So you're making illusions too, buddy. She's a dang gnome, and she's a ding-dang Harry Potter analog, okay? So guess who Alandra started dating after Talrand? Arcanus the Omnipotent. So we got him, we got a Zombie Lady of Scrolls. They're wizards that draw cards and can do so at any time. Most of the creatures in this deck are wizards, so let's go. Psychosis Crawler is a really unique effect. This goes in wheeled decks and that's that. This thing reminds me of the old Mars Attacks comics where you had brains in jars or something like that, I don't know. The salient point of this is that when you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life, and if they don't have any life, they can't win the game, brother. That's how you play Magic, dude. Forgotten Creation, what's this guy do? I've forgotten all about it. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards in your hand. If you do, draw that many cards. Okay, well, make a Drake, and if your hand has 4 cards in it, then you trigger Alandra's second ability, you dingus. Alright, Talrand is tagging along. Alandra invited him to come on vacation with her and the kids, but now she's dating Arcanus. Talrand really doesn't want to see her hanging out with Arcanus because he's omnipotent. I mean, this guy, he's made of pure energy, brother. Arcanus is dark and mysterious, and Talrand, he wears a funny hat and a loincloth. But that's the only way Talrand will get to hang out with the kids, so he goes on vacation, right? And after all that, he becomes really good friends with Arcanus after they have a long heart-to-heart by the pool. After that vacation, Talrand really decides to work on himself. He hits the gym and he ends up dating Theta Adele. They open a bakery together and it's a modern love story, really. In this deck though, he makes drakes. And you got Curiosity Crafter. This is a 3/3 for 3 and a blue. Has flying. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever a creature token you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. This is such a good card, especially when we're making drakes and banging in. We also have 5 looters because like Azami and Arcanus, we can activate at any time we need a second card. Look at Thought Courier. What you doing with that thought bubble? You bringing it somewhere? You big stupid hat. Oh, have you ever read what cycling does? Well, let's read what it means. Discard this card, draw a card. So we put in the cycling lands like a Lonely Sandbar. But keep in mind that there are other cool cycling cards like Reconnaissance Mission. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. It also has cycling for 2. You also got Boon of the Wishgiver, 4 blue for a sorcery. Draw 4 cards, or it has cycling for 1 generic mana. Do you want to draw 4 cards and trigger the second ability? Do you want to draw 1 card and trigger the first ability off Alandra? Come on, dude, get your head out of your porthole and get this card in your deck. That's the Boon, brother. You're also going to want some small, cheaper draw effects. So, small instant speed draw effects that help smooth out your game plan. Brainstorm is so good in this deck. I'm constantly amazed at the power of this card. This is the gold standard. Note that it says draw 3 cards. That's all you need if it's an off turn, or you can cast it before or during your combat to get your 3rd, 4th, and 5th cards for the turn for a surprise +X from Alandra. And you got the old Keep Watch, dude. 2 and a blue for an instant. Draw a card for each attacking creature. I want new art for this because looking at an octopus, just looking at some random yellow and blue stuff, kind of belies the absolute monster that this card is. You're also going to want some scalable draw spells. You can draw your 2 to get a Drake, or you can draw your 4 to pop off with big Drakes. You got Pull from Tomorrow, Silver Scrutiny, Blue Sun Zenith, Occult Epiphany, Stroke of Genius. All of these have the ability to be cast at instant speed, my dude. You can scale these up to draw what you need and hit your goals, brother. I love the art on Stroke of Genius. This guy's just saying to himself, oh, I'll make a Karn. Yes, that's a great idea. And you're going to want some wheels, dude. You got Game Plan, 5 and a blue for a sorcery with Assist. The Assist is not going to come into this too much, but each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards, exile Game Plan. This is a super cheap wheel that I feel is severely underplayed. This lady's got a whole stadium in her mind. You got Flux, 2 and a blue for a sorcery. Each player discards any number of cards, then draws that many cards. Then you draw a card. Yeah, we're giving our opponents stuff, but that's a budget deck, dude. If anyone can tell me what the heck is going on in this art, I'll give you 7 internet points. Diminishing Returns. I love this card. 2 blue for a sorcery. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library. You exile the top 10 cards of your library. Big whoop, who cares? Then each player draws up to 7 cards. I have the Alliances version. It's just a green ghost cracking some glass, dude. Don't worry about it. Anywho, there are no combos in this deck. It's a budget deck. We lose access to 10 cards, but who gives a you-know-what in a budget deck, brother? Now, of course, you have Windfall and you have Windfall Guy, Jace's Archivist. He's just a bald guy making cool pictures for his buddy Jace. Alright, now what's up? You want to spend more money? Consecrated Sphinx is a great card, and you'd be making a Drake each turn. It's currently $17. I've honestly never seen it lower than that, but you know what? Listen, don't tell anybody, but you can probably proxy it for like $1.50, brother. And of course, nobody draws cards like the old Ristic Study. Despite a couple of reprints, this remains at $30 for the cheapest version. So what do you think about Alandra? She's freshly single and she's ready to mingle. Poor Talrand is in a dingy apartment somewhere. He's eating beans in a dirty undershirt, watching football by himself. But don't lose hope, my friends. All it takes is a year of hard cardio and maybe a couple 30-pound weights. Talrand to be sufficiently recovered to get back out there on Match.com, start slaying the scene. Sneaky G from Better Commander, signing off.